Nicholas Callas, and alongside me, Antonio Palulo. This is greensports.net simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. It's girls volleyball between Waynesburg Central High School and Beth-Center High School here live. We're just getting ready to get into set number 2. In set 1, Waynesburg Central won 25-14 and is leading the set right now. Again, it's early in the season. Standings aren't too relevant right now, but both these teams suffered a loss on Tuesday. Waynesburg Central lost to Frazier, the top team in WPIAL Class 2A Section 3 from a year ago, and then Beth-Center lost to Southmoreland, the number 2 team last year in Class 2A Section 3 in the WPIAL. So these two teams finished 3rd and 4th in that section a year ago, and these two teams playing well right now, coming off a loss from Tuesday. One team's going to come out and win this one and get its first win of the year.
Yeah, a great job there by Waynesburg, and you know, we looked at this game. It was a lot of back and forth. The biggest lead we saw was 10-5, and then we ultimately get to the Kayla Rush serve where she just kind of sets it to 19-12, and by then Waynesburg was able to pretty much close this one out.
Waynesburg Central moves to the right side of the court, and Beth-Center moves to the left side. Beth-Center in its navy blue jerseys with gold numbers, and Waynesburg Central in its black jerseys with red numbers. This game, or this set, I should say, set number 2 ready to get underway. Again, Waynesburg Central winning 1-0 so far in the match. Beth-Center going to serve to begin. It's Jen Zelenik, a 5'5" junior, getting ready to serve it away from the middle of the end line. Serves over. It's way too hard and it's way too far. Goes out of bounds toward the deep part of the court, and Waynesburg Central scores the first point of set number 2. Now it's going to be Emma Robinson serving it away for Waynesburg Central, and that's going to hit the net. So each team gives up a point to start this set, and Beth-Center is going to serve again. It's 1-1 in set number 2. So Zoe Sussin, the 5'3" junior, serves it away from the middle of the back court, and it's picked up by Waynesburg cleanly. Now the spike by Bailey Pauly is off of the hands of Jen Zelenik, and Waynesburg Central scores its second point of the set. It's 2-1. Waynesburg Central leads Beth-Center. So now for Waynesburg Central, it's Kayla Rush, 5'7" junior, ready to serve it away, and she does, directly into the middle of the court. Bump, set, and here comes the spike by Beth-Center. It was Noelle Hunter with the initial spike, and then the front line for Waynesburg Central sent it back, and Noelle Hunter once again sent it over quickly, and Waynesburg Central could not put the ball over the net, so Beth-Center scores. It's 2-2 now here in set number 2. Set over by Hunter. Picked up cleanly by Waynesburg. The spike again by Bailey Pauly, but this time it's out of bounds on the far side of the court, so Waynesburg Central scores again, and both of these teams have alternated points in this one so far. Waynesburg Central up 3-2 in the set and up 1-0 in the match.
And a lot of those back and forth have been errors, not big plays.
Noelle Hunter ready to serve it away from the left side of the back court, but she serves it too far. It goes out of bounds on the far side of the court, and Waynesburg Central ties it 3-3 in set number 2. So it's Paige Jones, the sophomore, ready to serve it away for Waynesburg Central. It tips off of the net and lands on the ground. Amber Headley contested that one hitting the ground. She tried to dig it out and bend over, but couldn't do it, so it hits the ground. Waynesburg Central is now up 4-3 in the set. Jones again serves. Beth-Center plays it cleanly, and the hit over by Sarah Hess is picked up by Waynesburg cleanly and now sent over by Emma Robinson. It's picked up by the libero initially, Alyssa Minard. And the diving attempt by Beth-Center's Jen Zelenik is unsuccessful. The ball hits the ground, and Waynesburg Central now takes a 2-point lead. It's 5-3 in the set. Jones again serves it over. Bump set, spike, Beth-Center hits it over. Now Waynesburg Central hits it back over. It was Pauly who hits it over. And the finish by Alyssa Minard is unsuccessful. The ball hit the net and then hit the ground, so Waynesburg Central scores again. It's 6-3 in the set, and it's 1-0 in the match. Waynesburg Central leading the match. Jones on the fourth serve serves it straight into the net, and Beth-Center gets a point. It's 6-4. Beth-Center trailing. Now the serve by Anna Sloan for Beth-Center. It's hit high and out of bounds. It goes too far past the end line on the far side of the court. And Waynesburg Central gets its 7th point of the set. It's 7-4 in the set, 1-0 in the match. Waynesburg Central leading both. The serve now by Bailey Pauly is dug out by Alyssa Minard, and the attempted finish by Amber Headley goes straight into the net for Beth-Center, and Waynesburg Central gets another point on that volley. It's 8-4 now. Waynesburg Central leading Beth-Center in set number 2 of this match. The serve over by Pauly goes off of the hands of Anna Sloan. She tried to kind of jammed her. It went up right on the middle of her waist, and she couldn't get her hands on it. She got her wrists on it, and it tipped off of her and went out of play. Now Sloan's out of the game, and into the game comes Anna Knisner. The serve by Pauly from the middle of the backcourt. It hits off of Anna Knisner, then tipped off the body of Sarah Hess before hitting the ground, and Waynesburg Central gets another point in this set. It's 10-4 in set number 2, and the match is led by Waynesburg Central. It's 1-0. Pauly gets ready to serve it again from the middle of the backcourt. It's tipped up by Sarah Hess, and a diving attempt by Zoe Sussin of Beth-Center. She dove, tipped it off of her hands, but it goes out of bounds. It hit the ground, and Waynesburg Central gets another point. It's 11-4 now. Waynesburg Central leads Beth-Center in this set and leads the match 1-0. Now timeout Beth-Center.
Yeah, Waynesburg doing a great job of just continuing to play their game. I think right now this game started off with a lot of errors and continues to see a lot of errors just from Beth-Center. I mean, Beth-Center went almost blow for blow with Waynesburg outside of a 3-0 start for most half of the first game of this 5-game set. They did a nice job of going blow for blow, and here they are just letting this game slip away. This is a good timely timeout to try to refocus your team and say, hey, just play a clean game and try to force them to make the errors.
Waynesburg Central back, lining up on the right side of the court. Beth-Center still on the left side of the court. Bailey Pauly ready to serve it away again for Waynesburg Central from the middle of the back line. It's a line drive serve, picked up nicely by Beth-Center. The hit over by Zelinik goes out of bounds on the far side. Waynesburg Central getting another point in this one, now leading by 8 in the set. It's 12-4. Waynesburg Central leads set number 2. Bailey Pauly hits it away again. It was almost hit by Anna Knisner, but she ducked out of the way at the last minute. The ball goes out of bounds past the end line. So Beth-Center gets its first point in a while. It's 12-5 now in the serve by Sarah Hess, picked up by Waynesburg Central. The spike by Emma Robinson lands inbounds on the far side of the court. Anna Knisner couldn't react in time before it hit the ground, and Waynesburg Central scores again. It's 13-5 here in set number 2, and the match is led 1-0 by Waynesburg Central. Now the libero, Peyton Foringer, ready to serve it away, and she serves it right to the middle of the court. Bump, and the set is over the net by Zoe Sussin, and now Waynesburg Central in possession, but a nice spike by Emma Robinson after a nice setup by her teammates allows her to spike the ball into the corner on the near side of the net over by the end line, and Waynesburg Central scores again. It's 14-5. Another serve by Foringer is picked up by Beth-Center and hit over by Zoe Sussin. Now Waynesburg Central has an opportunity, but Beth-Center picks it back up. Now it's on Beth-Center's side. The spike attempt is blocked by Waynesburg Central's front line, but Beth-Center keeps it alive. The hit over by Amber Headley is now fielded by Waynesburg Central. The spike is blocked by Waynesburg Central. Now Beth-Center setting up a nice spike before whistles are blown. Waynesburg Central gets the point. It was Amber Headley who kind of stepped over the middle of the line under the net. And Waynesburg Central gets the point. It's 15-5 before Peyton Foringer serves it, and she hits it right. So Beth-Center gets a point now. It is 15-6. Waynesburg Central leading Beth-Center in set number 2 of this match. And Alyssa Minard, the libero of Beth-Center, serves one right into the net as well. So now it's 60-6. Waynesburg Central getting another point. Waynesburg Central up 16-6 in set number 2, and Waynesburg Central leads the match right now 1-0. Abby Fisher, the 5'9" senior, getting ready to serve it away for Waynesburg Central. Right, there's a quick stoppage in play. One of the line judges needed to fix her flag. The hit over by Fisher is fielded nicely by the libero Minard, and then it was Jen Zelenik who attempted to spike that one over. It was a nice opportunity to hit the ball, but she hit it a little bit too far. It goes out of bounds on the far side of the court. Waynesburg Central gets another point. It's now 17-6. Fisher hits it over again. Picked up by Beth-Center. Hit over by Zoe Sussin. Now Waynesburg Central with an opportunity. Hit over by the left hand of Sarah Stevenson for Waynesburg Central, but it's too far. It goes past the end line on the court. Beth-Center getting another point now. It's a 10-point difference in set number 2. 17-7 is the score. Waynesburg Central leading. Now here's Jen Zelenik, who serves it over. Picked up by Waynesburg Central. Bump set, and the spike attempt by Emma Robinson goes straight into the net. Hits the ground. Waynesburg Central still leading, but Beth-Center got the point there. It's 17-8. Beth-Center trails this one in set number 2. Jen Zelenik serves again, hits it over to the middle of the court. Bump set, and the hit attempt over is failed. Sarah Stevenson tried to hit it up over the net, but hits it into the net, and Beth-Center gets another point. It's now 17-9. Zelenik gets ready to serve it away again from the middle of the end line. It's a line drive spike, dug out by Waynesburg Central nicely, but as Waynesburg Central hit it over, it was the 6'1" junior Noelle Hunter who just slapped it back into Waynesburg's side of the court. Hit the ground before anybody for Waynesburg could regain control, and Beth-Center gets another point. It's now 17-10. And that last serve by Jen Zelenik went over the end line in Waynesburg Central side of the court, out of bounds. So Waynesburg Central scores again. It's now 18-10 in set number 2. The serve over by Robinson hits the ground right away. It goes out of bounds by the far side of the court near the end line. Waynesburg Central with another point. It's now 19-10 in set number 2, and the goal is 25. Waynesburg leading the match 1-0. Serve over again by Robinson is soft. Tried to fool Beth-Center's formation, but unfortunately that serve was not hard enough, and Emma Robinson serves it right into the net. Beth-Center gets another point. It's 19-11. Now the serve by Zoe Sussin is almost dug out. Peyton Foringer, the libero, dove and hit it into the air initially, but it wasn't high enough for any Waynesburg Central players to make a play on it, so it hits the ground. Beth-Center gets another point. It's now 19-12. Serve over again by Sussin is hit up by Foringer and spiked by Kayla Rush, but Noelle Hunter once again showing her height, blocks the attempted spike. It hits the ground on Waynesburg Central side of the court. Beth-Center scores its third consecutive point. It's now 19-13. Beth-Center still trailing in set number 2. The serve over by Sussin is picked up by Foringer. Set, and the spike attempt is right into the net. Sarah Stevenson tried the finisher, but Stevenson hit it right into the net. Beth-Center scores again. It's 19-14 here in set number 2. Waynesburg Central leads the match 1-0, and the goal is 25 in the first 4 sets. And Beth-Center has scored 4 consecutive points as Waynesburg Central calls its first timeout.
Yeah, Waynesburg led this game by 11 points at one point to 17-6, and now it's 19-14. Beth-Center's done a great job of not trying to force anything, play their game, and I mean Noelle Hunter. I mean she's just been absolutely fantastic in the first game, in the second game. She's done everything possible to keep Beth-Center in these games. I think if you offer Beth-Center, you can go out there with 5 girls, but Noelle Hunter gets to stay on those front lines right at the net all game. I'm guarantee you they're probably going to take that bet, and they're probably going to win those games pretty easily because she is an absolute force at the net.
Well, yeah, she's 6'1".
She's
really tall.
But she also does a great job of getting up, getting a good angle on the ball, finding where the open spot is. She does everything well you want to see out of volleyball.
That's what I'm saying. She's a good overall player. Serve up now by Zoe Sussin is fielded by Waynesburg Central. The spike by Bailey Pauley tips off of the hands of Noelle Hunter and then hits the ground on Beth-Center's side of the court, so Waynesburg Central gets another point and stops the 4-0 run there by Beth-Center. It's now 20-14. Waynesburg Central ready to serve it away. It's toward the middle of the court. Hit up by Sarah Hess, and miscommunication between Jen Zelenik and Noelle Hunter caused the ball to be sprayed into the seats. It hit off both of their hands, and Waynesburg Central gets another point. It's 21-14 here in set number 2. Kayla Rush, the 5'7" junior, ready to serve it away for Waynesburg Central. It's a hard serve, but Beth-Center picks it up cleanly. Now it's on Waynesburg Central's side of the court. It was tipped up, set up by Abby Fisher, but Kayla Rush could not finish the job. It hits the ground, and Waynesburg Central gives up another point. It's 21-15. Beth-Center trailing this one. Kayla Rush out of the game. Back in the game is Peyton Foringer, the libero. Now the serve by Noelle Hunter for Beth-Center. And Peyton Foringer, bit of miscommunication with her teammate of Waynesburg Central, Sarah Stevenson. Stevenson was in front of the ball but let it go, and Foringer didn't react in time. The ball hits the ground, and Beth-Center gets another point. It's 21-16 here in set number 2. Hunter with the serve again, hit up by Foringer and hit away by Sarah Stevenson. Now Beth-Center on the attack. The spike is blocked by Waynesburg Central. Take a look here. The block was by Sarah Stevenson on the attempted spike by Anna Sloan, and Beth-Center could not recover. So Waynesburg Central gets another point. It's 22-16 in set number 2. The goal is 25 points for a set win. Serves up by Paige Jones. Set, and the spike is fielded well by Waynesburg Central. That was a nice hit by Sarah Hess. Now Waynesburg Central hits it back over. Beth-Center in control of the ball. In the air, it's tipped over by Anna Sloan, but Waynesburg Central responds nicely. The spike over by Pauly is hit by Beth-Center's Jen Zelenik. It was not a very controlled or hard set up, and nobody on Beth-Center could react fast enough. The ball hits the ground. Waynesburg Central gets another point. It's 23-16 in set 2. Serve again by Waynesburg Central. Beth-Center hits it over. That was Zelenik hitting it over. Foringer plays it first for Waynesburg Central. And Emma Robinson finishes the job. The ball was tipped off of the hands of Amber Headley and squirted away from Jen Zelenik. And Waynesburg Central 1 point away from winning set number 2. It's 24-16. Waynesburg Central leading the set over Beth-Center. Ball tipped up now. Beth-Center's Anna Sloan hits it into the middle of the court on Waynesburg Central's side. Bump set, and the tip by Bailey Pauly hits the ground in Waynesburg Central's territory. She acted like she was going to spike it at first, and then she kind of just did the two-hand little soft setup to try to get it over the net, but it was too short. Hit the net, hit the ground on Waynesburg Central's side, and now Beth-Center gets another point and serves it. It's 21-14. Waynesburg Central in control. The soft hit over is blocked by Beth-Center. Waynesburg Central now hits it over to Beth-Center's side. First hit, second hit, and Jen Zelenik tried to tip it over the net, but it was blocked by Waynesburg Central's Bailey Pauly, and that'll do it for set number 2. Waynesburg Central makes it to 25 points first in this second set and is now leading the match by a score of 2-0.
Yeah, it was a great job there by Waynesburg to be able to push through. There was a bit of a run. That timeout might have threw off their, it was 19-14 at one point. They were a bit on a losing streak, so it was, for them, probably good they came back. Again, Noelle Hunter, that's one of the tough things about volleyball, when you have a player who's not an all-around player like Hunter. Once she comes off the floor, you got to wait for that rotation to come back around, and sometimes that's really tough, and Beth-Center got the rough end of the stick there.
So it's a best of 5 here. Waynesburg Central one match win away from winning, or one set win away from winning the entire match, and Beth-Center will now have to win 3 straight in order to capture a victory, but we're going to see what happens coming up next. We're going to take a break here on greensports.net. It's Antonio Palullo and Nicholas Callas covering girls volleyball between Waynesburg and Beth-Center here on greensports.net. Stay with us. We'll be right back. greensports.net simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network of WPIAL girls volleyball. Waynesburg Central and Beth-Center playing in a girls volleyball matchup. It's Waynesburg Central leading 2 games to 1 in a best of 5 series. Waynesburg Central won the first 2 sets, but Beth-Center just finished off its first set win, so we're headed to set number 4. It's still a goal of 25 points to win the fourth set. Waynesburg Central one set win away from winning the match, and Beth-Center looking to force a game 5. And we'll see what happens. We're covering it live for you. It's about to begin right now. Waynesburg Central moves back to the right side of the court. Beth-Center on the left side. A reminder that Beth-Center is wearing its navy blue uniforms with the gold numbers, and Waynesburg Central wearing black uniforms with the red numbers. Beth-Center ready to serve and begin set number 4. It is Jen Zelenik ready to serve it away from the back line. She's positioned in the middle. Ready to serve with the right hand. It goes over into the middle of Waynesburg Central side of the court. Bump set, and the tip is incomplete. Alexis Pantalone tried to tip that one up, and she missed the tip. Hit the ground on Waynesburg Central side, and Beth-Center strikes first, 1-0 in set number 4. Zelenik serves it back again. It's tipped up and hit by Waynesburg Central. Now it's on Beth-Center's side, but the quick set over. Waynesburg Central saves it, though. The ball's still in the air, and it's hit over. Picked up by Minard, and now the hit over by Amber Headley is initially blocked by a combination of Sarah Stevenson and Alexis Pantalone. The ball was blocked, then hit off the net, but Waynesburg Central couldn't save it, so it hits the ground. Beth-Center up 2-0 in set 4. Zelenik hits it over again. It's hit immediately into the net. An attempted save by Waynesburg Central's Abby Fisher. It hit off the net. She kind of slid on her knees into the net, trying to keep it in the air, but could not do it. Ball hits the ground again, and Beth-Center scores 3 straight points to begin set number 4, in which Waynesburg Central is leading the match 2-1. Zelenik serves it over again on a line drive. It's picked up by Foringer. Goes back to Beth-Center's side. And an attempted spike by Amber Headley goes straight into the net and hits the ground on Beth-Center's side of the court. So Waynesburg Central scores its first point of the set. It's 3-1. Beth-Center still in the lead. The hit over now by Robinson meets a squatting Sarah Hess, who tried to dig that one out of the ground, but Hess could not do it. And it trickles onto the ground. Waynesburg Central now trails 3-2. Robinson serves it over again. It's hit up by Hess. And nobody was around to set up the initial hit by Sarah Hess. Zoe Sussin made her way over to try to keep it in the air with one hand, but couldn't do it. It hits the ground, and Waynesburg Central ties it at 3. And now a perfect serve by Emma Robinson straight into the middle of the court. Fell right at the feet of Alyssa Minard and then hit the ground. So Waynesburg Central has scored 4 points straight in set number 4 and now leads at 4-3. Emma Robinson with another serve. It tipped off the top of the net and dropped at the feet of Jen Zelenik. And Waynesburg Central has scored its 5th straight point. It's now 5-3. Waynesburg Central leads in set number 4. Robinson again with the serve. It's tipped up by Hess and sent over by Zoe Sussin. It got over the net successfully, and then Bailey Pauly was there to try to tip that one back into the air, but it hit the ground. And Beth-Center ends the 5-0 run. It's now 5-4. Beth-Center still trailing. The serve over by Sussin is hit up by Foringer, and the spike is blocked. Waynesburg Central keeps it in the air, though. Hits the top of the net, and Beth-Center gets the points. It was a successful block by Sarah Hess at the front of the net to keep the ball in the air and on Waynesburg Central side. And Waynesburg Central couldn't get the kill. Beth-Center ties it up. It's 5-5 in set 4. The send over by Sussin is picked up by Foringer to Fisher and then hit over by Waynesburg Central. Now it's in Beth-Center's side of the court. Beth-Center hits it over and Waynesburg Central returns it. It's on Beth-Center's side. Now the attempted kill is, now it's just hit over. Waynesburg Central keeping it in the air. The hit over by Robinson is hard, tipped off of the hands of Amber Headley and sprinkles out of bounds, but Beth-Center touched it last off of the hands of Amber Headley, so Waynesburg Central getting the point. It's 6-5. Waynesburg Central leads set number 4 and leads the match 2-1. The hit over now by Foringer is tipped by Alyssa Minard. She initially tried to bump it, but didn't get enough control on that one. It makes its way toward the near side of the court, out of bounds. Waynesburg Central gets another point. It's 7-5 in set 4. Served again by Waynesburg Central, and the hit over by Sarah Hess is well too soft. And Waynesburg Central gets another point. It is 8-5 in set number 4. Peyton Foringer ready to serve it away again from the end line. She's positioned in the middle. It's initially hit by Minard, hit up, and then spiked, but blocked by Waynesburg Central. After a couple tips, it gets back over the net. Waynesburg Central's Alexis Pantalone, it was Sarah Stevenson who finished off the kill after a couple of rallies by both sides. She spiked it over, got the kill, and Waynesburg Central scores again. It's 9-5 in set 4. Foringer hits it over toward the far side of the court. It's bumped, set, and here's the soft kill by Beth-Center's Anna Sloan. It hit on the far side of the court by the end line in that corner, and Beth-Center scores on that play. It's now a 3-point deficit in set 4. The score is 9-6, Beth-Center trailing. Alyssa Minard ready to send it away from Beth-Center's side. She's the server on this one. Line drive hit over. It's hit into the air, and a spike, but Noelle Hunter spiked it once. Now she tries for a kill again. Waynesburg Central volleys it nicely back to Beth-Center's side. And Beth-Center could not return it successfully. A couple of soft hits yielded Sarah Hess to try to hit it over, but she underhanded it, got jammed a bit, and she just hits it into the net. So Waynesburg Central scores again. It's 10-6. Serve over by Paige Jones is played by Beth-Center. It's Noelle Hunter sending it back over. Now Waynesburg Central with a shot. An attempted spike and kill is successful by Kayla Rush. And Waynesburg Central now up 11-6.
That's their largest lead since game 2.
Paige Jones ready to serve it up again. And that will hit out of bounds on the far side of the court by the end line. Beth-Center scores again. It's 11-7. Well, I correct myself. According to the line judge, the ball stayed in bounds down by the far side of the court, down by the end line, so that point will go to Waynesburg Central. So now Waynesburg Central extends its lead. It's 12-6, and Beth-Center calls its second timeout of the match.
Yeah, that's one of the things about these lower levels of high school volleyball. You can see Division III and maybe even Division II and small Division I colleges is that the line judges will usually be rather players for the home team, or it might even be someone who goes to the school. So they might usually be a little biased one way or another, and maybe that call could have gone either way. But Waynesburg Central benefits from the fact that, it's a bit of a home court advantage,
Well, at the same time, I didn't see it at first because there were several players trying to make plays in the way of the ball's trajectory, so I couldn't see it. I just, from my poor perspective, thought that it landed out of bounds, but I don't have the best seat in the house, so the line judges certainly do when it comes to judging the line. Now Waynesburg Central going to serve it over again. It's initially hit up by Minard and then sent away by Hess. Waynesburg Central fields it cleanly, and whistles blow because of a double hit on Waynesburg Central's part. So point Beth-Center, it's 12-7. Waynesburg Central still leading Beth-Center in set number 4. The hit over now, the serve over by Anna Sloan is fielded by Jones, tipped up and spiked by Waynesburg Central's Kayla Rush, but the ball goes out of bounds down by the end line. Point Beth-Center, it's 12-8. Beth-Center trailing in set 4. Sloan will serve it over again, bump the set, fake spike. Pauly is the one who spikes it back to Beth-Center's side. Now Beth-Center volleys it back to Waynesburg's side, and the hit up by Pauly tips off the tip of the net. A diving attempt by Beth-Center's Jen Zelenik to keep it in the air, but she could not do it. It hit the ground. And I must say, nice trickery by Waynesburg Central. Kayla Rush on one of those volleys looked like she was going to spike it away, and then Bailey Pauly tried for the kill with a nice little soft serve that went over the net. Beth-Center fielded it nicely, but trickery from Waynesburg Central there. Nice finesse. Served over now by Waynesburg Central's Bailey Pauly. Tipped off of the hands of Zoe Sussin, and nobody could recover as it hit the ground. So Waynesburg Central scores its second consecutive point and now extends its lead 14-8 in set number 4. And Waynesburg Central leads the match by a score of 2-1. Ball served over again now by Pauly. bump set, and the hit over by Sarah Hess is fielded by Waynesburg Central. Now the spike, an attempted kill by Emma Robinson, is hit too hard and too far. It goes out of bounds over the end line in Beth-Center's territory, so Beth-Center gets the point. It's 14-9, a 5-point deficit in set number 4. So now it's Sarah Hess going to serve it for Beth-Center. It's bumped, set, and the spike is off the spike is off of the top of the net. Spike was by Kayla Rush, hit it off the tip of the net. Waynesburg Central gets the point after the ball hit the ground, so now it's 15-9. And a serve over again by Rush. Bump, set, and the spike by Noelle Hunter. Waynesburg fields it, though, successfully and gets it back over the net, but be that as it went over the net, it did not stay in the field of play. It went out of bounds on the far side of the court. And Beth-Center scores again. It's 15-10 here in set number 4. Noelle Hunter ready to serve it away from the end line, and it's a nice hard hit that Waynesburg Central's junior Sydney Jones could not come down with. It was a little bit too tall for her. She tried to bump it up by her shoulders, and she only tipped it backwards, hit the ground, and Beth-Center scores another point. It's 15-11. Beth-Center is trailing. Noelle Hunter with a hard spike that does not stay in bounds, goes out of bounds down by the far side of the court, and Waynesburg Central scores again. It's 16-11. Waynesburg Central leads in set number 4, and Waynesburg Central leads the match 2-1. Abby Fisher ready to serve it for Waynesburg Central. She's positioned in the middle part of the end line and serves it away toward the middle of the court. A couple players knocking to each other for Beth-Center, but the ball gets over the net successfully. A nice kill by Amber Headley gives Beth-Center another point. It's 16-12. Waynesburg Central still leading Beth-Center. So now it's Jen Zelenik getting ready to serve for Beth-Center. From the middle of the end line, hard hit right to the middle. Foringer picks it up for Waynesburg Central. Set, and a spike is knocked away by Beth-Center. The ball's still in the air, and it's sent over. It's sent over by Sussin. And then Waynesburg Central's Alexis Pantalone could not keep good possession of the ball. Couldn't keep it in the air. It hits the ground, and Beth-Center scores again. It's 16-13. Waynesburg Central still leads. Jen Zelenik serves it over again. A nice soft serve. A diving attempt at that one by Sydney Jones. She tried to dig it out. That's another example of Beth-Center serving it with precision. Jones tried to dig it out of the ground but could not. It hit the ground right after she barely tipped it, and Beth-Center scores again at 16-14. Zelenik serves it over, bump, set, and the set went right toward the net. A diving attempt by Sarah Stevenson is for naught. The ball was too close to the net for her to even keep in the air, and Beth-Center scores again. Now it's 16-15. Beth-Center trailing by a point now in this fourth set. Zelenik from the middle of the end line hits it with her right hand toward the middle. Foringer picks it up. Fisher sets it, and the attempted kill is blocked by Beth-Center's Anna Sloan. Beth-Center kept it in the air, and now a block by Waynesburg Central puts it back into Beth-Center's side. Heaving it over is Zoe Sussin. Now Waynesburg Central tries for a kill, but it's knocked into the net. Sarah Stevenson knocks the ball into the net after trying to kill it. And Beth-Center has knotted this game up 16-16. That's 6 straight points for Beth-Center. Zelenik serves it over again, a set by Waynesburg Central, but a failed hit by Abby Fisher causes the ball to hit the ground. Beth-Center scores its 7th straight point and now leads this fourth set 17-16. Zelenik hits it over again. It's tipped up by Pauly, but a nice reach over by Beth-Center's Amber Headley gives Waynesburg's the ball hit the ground after the hit over by Amber Headley. It hits the ground on Waynesburg Central's side of the court. 8 straight points for Beth-Center. Gives Beth-Center an 18-16 lead in this fourth set. Meanwhile, Waynesburg is leading the match right now 2-1.
Yeah, we saw the score. It was 15-9, 16-11. We thought Waynesburg might start to get ready to run away with this one as they did in the first game, and they just fought. Beth-Center's fought back. And you know what the most surprising thing about this 8-point run?
What's that?
Look at who's on the front lines. You don't see Noelle Hunter doing this. it's impressive that they have that versatility. It's Amber Headley who's on there. She's done an excellent job up front. It's just impressive to see that this versatile team is pushing through adversity.
Zelenik ready to serve it away again for the 9th time. Hit by Foringer, and then the spike by Robinson is fielded well by Beth-Center. Alyssa Minard initially hit the ball up in the air, but that low ceiling and that divider in the gym kind of tipped off the top of the roof, or tipped off the ceiling, rather, and then hit the ground before Beth-Center could recover. Now Waynesburg Central scores again. It's 18-17. Bump set, and the soft tip up by Anna Sloan is fielded by Waynesburg Central. Now Robinson with a hard hit, attempted kill, but it's far past the end line, out of bounds on Beth-Center's side of the court, but Beth-Center gets the point. It's now 19-17 here in set number 4. Now the serve over by Zoe Sussin is fielded by Waynesburg Central. The spike goes to Bailey Pauley, but it's dug out nicely by Alyssa Minard. For a second it stayed in the air, but as it went to Waynesburg Central's side of the court, it landed out of bounds on the near side of the court, so Waynesburg Central gets the point. It's now 19-18, but Beth-Center still leads this 4th set. Foringer, the libero, now with the serve. It's hit up in the air by Minard, and a nice save. Ball back on the side of Waynesburg Central, and now Waynesburg Central tries for the kill. It's hit up into the air and knocked out of bounds by Alyssa Minard. And Waynesburg Central ties the game up 19-19. It should be recognized that Jen Zelenik made a diving attempt out of play on the near side of the court. She made a diving attempt to keep the ball in the air, and she did keep it in the air, allowing for Sarah Hess to knock it back over the net. But Waynesburg Central wins the volley, ultimately keeping it alive on their side, and now the game is tied at 19. Foringer again with the serve. It's tipped up by Zelenik, and a set later it's hit over by Sloan. Now Waynesburg Central with it. A attempted kill is well too far. Goes past the end line, out of bounds on the attempted kill by Emma Robinson. And Beth-Center scores again. It is 20-19.
Noelle Hunter checks in now.
And on that attempted serve by Alyssa Minard, it goes into the net, hits the ground. Waynesburg Central ties it up. The score is 20-20 in set number 4. The goal is 25.
If you look at the backcourt, you have a libero, you have a middle attacker, and one defensive specialist.
Ball served over by Paige Jones. And a nice successful volley. Zelenik hits it back over to Waynesburg Central side. Now Pauley hits it softly. And for a moment, Beth-Center kept it alive. A diving dig by Anna Sloan goes for naught. She hit it too far out of bounds on the near side of the court. Waynesburg Central scores a point. It's 21-20 now. Waynesburg Central leads in set number 4, and Waynesburg Central is leading the match 2-1.
Yep. This one, it's coming down on the wire here. I mean, Beth-Center's fighting for their lives. Waynesburg's trying to finish the job. This is a dangerous, right now, backcourt for Beth-Center. This is a chance where Waynesburg really should just focus on just getting the ball over the net. You have 2 defensive specialists and a middle hitter back there. Now, Hunter obviously does a good enough job passing. Obviously, if she wasn't good enough passing, she wouldn't be back there. But obviously, when you only have 3 players back there, it might cause some confusion, some problems. We've seen before Waynesburg go on a run against these 3. This is a great opportunity for Waynesburg to put this one away right now, and you have a great server coming up to do it.
The goal is 25. Waynesburg Central leads 21-20 in this 4th set against Beth-Center's High School. Paige Jones awaiting to serve again for Waynesburg Central, and she does over the net. It's hit up by Hunter Noel, then hits the ceiling, and it jumped down too quickly before any Beth-Center players could react. Hit off the ceiling and then touch the ground. And Waynesburg Central scores again. It's 22-20 in set number 4. Jones serves it over again. Noelle Hunter, excuse me. Hit it up initially, and then Beth-Center serves it back over. Now the spike is blocked. Emma Robinson tried for the spike and the kill, but it was a combination block by Noelle Hunter and Anna Sloan to give Beth-Center a point. It's now 22-21. Beth-Center trails in this 4th set. Now the serve over by Sloan is picked up by Waynesburg Central nicely. The hit over by Pauly is dug out for a second by Alyssa Minard, but that dig was a bit too hard. It went into the net before any Beth-Center players could react to it, and Waynesburg Central scores another point. It's 23-21. This game's rather close as it heads toward a finish. The goal's 25, the score's 23-21. Pauly now with the serve. It's tipped up and a save by Beth-Center. The ball's still in the air. Bump set and a spike by Bailey. Pauly is now hit into the air again. Set, and the spike by Zelenik goes into the net. So Waynesburg Central scores a point. It's 24-21. It should be noted there was a valiant effort by Zoe Sussin. She dug that ball out to keep the volley alive, but Waynesburg Central scores 24-21, and it's game point for Waynesburg Central. Bump set, and the hit over is hit up by Jones on Waynesburg Central's side to Foringer, and Robinson with the set back over. Now it's hit by Sloan up into the air, but the kill by Waynesburg Central. It was Abby Fisher getting the ending kill for Waynesburg Central. The final point scored in this one. It's 25-21, game over. Waynesburg Central wins 3-1 in this match, best of 5, and wins its first game of the year, and Beth-Center falls to 0-2, while Waynesburg Central improves to 1-1.
Yeah, it's a tough back-and-forth matchup. At the end there, we thought Waynesburg was going to run away with it. I mean, it was 15-9, 16-11, and Beth-Center fought back to make it to get to 18-16 where they led, and eventually you saw Waynesburg was able to come back and push it, get away with it, and it was an impressive performance by both teams, and they showed why both teams are teams that can make the playoffs every year.
We're going to step aside real quick. You're listening to greensports.net simulcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. We're going to have recaps and our McCracken Pharmacy player of the game. When we come back, don't go anywhere. It's Nicholas Callas and Antonio Palulo covering girls volleyball on greensports.net. Stay with us.